stories provide young learners with a wide range of problems and solutions. We can lead them to evaluate these solutions themselves and then apply their ideas in problem-solving activities of their own. Problems and solutions are an integral part of most story arcs, as we can see from this story plot diagram, the story mountain. In the rising action of a typical story arc, the characters will come up against some kind of problem that gets bigger as they reach the climax of the story. They have to find a solution to the problem to move towards the ending of the story. It's this problem that makes a story exciting and makes us want to read it. We want to know the solution the characters will come up with and whether they will succeed at the end of the story. The problems in fairy stories usually involve some danger that the heroes have to overcome. There might be one main problem or danger, as in Little Red Riding Hood, or there might be a series of problems for the characters to overcome, as we can see when we think of the story of Hansel and Gretel. First of all, we would get students to identify the solutions that were applied to each of the problems in the story. And again, we can do this with the matching activity. Then to dig deeper, we might ask students to evaluate the ideas used by the characters to solve their problems and think about what they might have done in their place. Did the solution solve the problem? Why not? What could they do instead? Do they have a better idea? Students can then think of different solutions, which might range from simply using different materials for the path, for example stones or string or anything else a bird wouldn't eat. Or they could be something like climbing a tall tree to get a bird's eye view of their way home. Or they might be ideas for trying to avoid the problem in the first place. So, for example, they could ask their parents to go into the forest with them, or they could think of other ways that they can get more food for the family, such as growing food in their garden or making things to sell at market. And then, as before, pupils can vote for the best ideas. Then you might like to pick up on the idea of the children growing food in their garden and get pupils to do a creative activity where they imagine what this garden might look like. They can draw the garden and label the fruit and vegetables they are going to grow. They can also write sentences describing their garden and how it's going to help the family. Or, having evaluated Hansel's solution from the story, you can give the class an extension activity with their own problem to think about and solve. So, for example, keeping to the theme of being lost in a place they don't know, you can give students an imaginative task based on surviving and escaping from a desert island. Show students a map or a picture of an intriguing island and get them to name it. For example, they might call it Pirate Island. Then ask them to imagine they are lost on this island. How are they going to survive? What will they eat? Where will they sleep? How will they escape from the island? You can then get them to think of the things they may have to help them on the island. They can classify these into things that grow or live on the island, such as trees, leaves and fruit and the animals that live there, and objects that might wash up on the beach, such as various kinds of plastic, fishing lines, old wheels and tyres, and old drums and other containers. This stage of the activity could be done as a class brainstorm. Older children can then work in groups to decide which of the materials they are going to use and how. Then they can change groups to present their ideas and also ask and answer questions to find out more about their classmate's solution. Here we have students applying their imaginations as well as resourcefulness to come up with their own solutions to a problem. And it shows an escape raft which is made from the branches of a tree, a stick, oil drums to make it float, and a plastic sheet for a sail.